remember him for this. He was most remembered for what he did best: write. Still, his career as a writer, especially as a journalist, provided him with great opportunities to observe and understand leaders and leadership. Whether that makes him an authority on leadership is largely irrelevant. His writing has inspired many to find meaning in his words that may be well beyond what Kipling intended. Kipling believed that a reader should find the truth in a writer's words. He once said, "The true nature and intention of a writer's work does not lie within his own knowledge." Rudyard Kipling has been celebrated and criticized with equal passion. His supporters included literary great Henry James, who said, "Kipling strikes me, personally, as the most complete man of genius that I have ever known." In 1907, Kipling became the first British citizen to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, awarded in consideration of the power of observation, originality of imagination, virility of ideas, and remarkable talent for narration, which characterize the creations of this world-famous author. Much of the criticism leveled at Kipling is based on accusations of militarism, imperialism, and racism. His works often include derogatory comments about indigenous people under British rule. George Orwell, one of Kipling's most vocal critics, referred to Kipling as the prophet of British imperialism. According to critic Douglas Kerr, he is still an author who can inspire passionate disagreement. Who was Rudyard Kipling? Kipling's life provides interesting insights into his thoughts and writing. Born in Bombay, India, in December 1865, Kipling was the son of English expatriates. While he spent most of his life elsewhere, he always thought of himself as Anglo-Indian. India was an essential part of who he was. Among his greatest sources of inspiration were the people of India, indigenous Indians, and his fellow colonials alike. Kipling and his sister Trix left India to attend school in England when he was 6 and she was 3. This was a defining period in Kipling's life. He overcame the adversity of boarding with an abusive family while in England, and it was during this period that family began to emerge as the dominant force in Kipling's life. The extended absences from members of his family strengthened his bonds to them. Kipling often referred to the family square, a military term that indicated the importance of his family to his emotional and spiritual strength and well-being. Family and close friends would remain Kipling's strongest influences throughout his life. Kipling returned to India at the age of 17 to pursue a career as a journalist. As the sub-editor of the Civilian and Military Gazette in Lahore, India, now part of Pakistan, he learned about the business of journalism and gained valuable writing experience. This also gave Kipling his first taste of leadership and its challenges. As a budding Anglo-Indian journalist, author, and poet, Kipling began to explore and understand the nature of human relationships. He observed the effects of societal boundaries. He also began to understand the power of boundary crossing. Kipling biographer Harry Ricketts devoted an entire chapter to this topic. Kipling excelled at seeing across the societal divides. He truly understood and appreciated those around him, regardless of culture, rank, or status. Kipling's boundary crossing enabled him to create fictional characters who seemed real. This skill also gave him the ability to connect with those he was interviewing. Finally, it allowed him to bridge the cultural gap that typically existed between colonials and Indians. He used these skills to meet and befriend prominent leaders within the Indian and Anglo-Indian communities. These relationships exposed Kipling to many political, business, and military events that taught him valuable leadership lessons. Having achieved a degree of literary success in India, Kipling returned to England in 1889. He wanted to test himself in London, then the center of the literary world. Kipling found immediate critical and popular success that continued to grow for the next 20 years. He wrote and published some of his best poems and short stories during those years, including such classics as the poem If, Gunga Din, and Recessional, and books, The Jungle Book, Just So Stories, and Captains Courageous. Kipling's fame and wealth enabled him to travel extensively and to live in many countries.